All right.
Ho, ho, ho.
And Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. Happy holidays to all of you out there. Let's get into our weekly watch list here. Shouldn't take too long. We're going to start off with crypto, specifically Bitcoin. See, I have some of the zones drawn out here. Looks like we're consolidating in the upper zone again around 43,000. This area right here, very important. If we come into this area with any kind of dips, this would definitely be a buy the dip zone. That would be a New Year's gift if we come back down between 40 and 42, and I will be pumping my bags at those levels as I have already here in the previous section. I think that's it. The ETF slated to hopefully come out in January. We'll see what happens with that decision and how that manages the price going forward, what that does to affect the price. You can check out my other video about the Bitcoin ETF, the BlackRock one specifically, and what that could mean for the market if you want to know more about that. Should be a pretty slow week in the stock market given that it's the holidays. The Chinese stock market continues to take a beating, but I am in a position here in this area around $23, something like that. My bet here is that China will ease their monetary policy going into the new year, as they historically generally have done so. And you can see over the past year, I think it's lost something like 20 or 30%. But it has not been doing well. So I'm betting on a recovery with a small portion of my portfolio, but I think it could be a substantial play. And my target, even though I generally don't like price targets, is the $25 area. So that's FXI. Let's continue over to Google. Google has broken out of this range and has closed above it. So I'm long Google. I'm looking for it to continue to around the 145 area before potential retracement. If it does retrace to the top of this zone, I will add to my position. And as you can see, the squeeze indicator here is dropping. So I'm assuming it will continue its move higher, and that's my play for Google. Let's take a look at Nvidia. Nvidia has been in this 455 to 505 zone twice before, once in August and now again. And you can see the squeeze here is tightening as it gets to the top of the range. So I'm long Nvidia. I think I went long around somewhere here, 47, something like this. So my average is right around there. Looking for it to break out of this zone and push higher. We'll see what happens with that. I know Nancy Pelosi has some calls on Nvidia, so we'll see who's got the right play there. But yeah, long Nvidia, my stop loss is under 476. So if it goes below this MA here, I will close the trade and potentially try to target getting in lower here around 455 if it holds. Palantir, another play. You can see it's been in this range here between 17 and 1850 for about a week and a half. Again, the squeeze is setting up. The indicators are looking for it to basically retest the $20 area. So that is what I'm generally targeting. I am long on Palantir with March options to give myself some time. Again, long Palantir for me. If we look at the weekly, also in a nice uptrend, and we're basically in this little consolidation period right here. So that's Palantir. Last one I want to talk about, well, actually, second to last one I want to talk about is Tesla. Tesla has broken out of this range where it was between 250 and 230 at the end of last week, and now it's sort of consolidating here in the upper bound of that, so between 248 and 260. I am long Tesla for March calls, and I'm looking for it to basically go out of this zone. 270, 280 would be my targets. Stop losses basically below this zone, so below 248. I would drop the trade and try to maybe get it longer at a lower price around the 230s if it does end up retesting that. I am generally long Tesla to 2024 anyway, so I'm considering picking up some leaps on it as well. I won't go over Walmart. I went over it last week, but the play ended up being really good for the long side if you got it anywhere down here at the bottom of the zone, and now it looks to be retesting the 50 SMA. Last one I'll mention is Carvana. I talked about getting short here. I got stopped out. I got short again in this area. So I'm about break even at this point, a little bit under, because it's pumped up past 60 a few times. It got rejected. So I'm still short Carvana, not with a huge position, but I'm looking for a retest of this zone and basically one of these lower MAs. If it continues grinding higher, I will be dropping the trade if it goes above 60 again. So that's my stop loss for that. Last one I'll mention really quick, Berkshire. Hathaway, still long on this and basically increasing my position anytime it gets into this lower range, so something like that. and looking for it to eventually do a retest of its all-time highs. Lots of time on this play. I think I have June options for something like this. And that's basically it. I'm expecting a slow week given it's the holidays going into the new year. So I hope everyone has a great holiday. See you next week.